All right, people, welcome back to the Kyla Show. And since it's Halloween, I decided to do some throwback movies. So this week for the throwback horror movies, I think I'm going to talk about fan favorite, The Conjuring. So let's get it.
Welcome to the Kyla
All right, people. So The Conjuring is starring your boy Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, and is directed by James Wan. And basically, the premise of this movie is it's actually based off of true events with Ed and Lorraine Warren, who's played by Patrick and Vera, and basically they're paranormal investigators, and there's this family living in this small town. I forget where this story takes place, but it's like in a small town, and basically their house is haunted from some chick that was like a witch like back in the 1800s, and she like cursed the farmland or whatever, and they move in and the house is haunted, and Ed and Lorraine comes in to do their paranormal investigation. And that's basically, the premise of the story without me ruining anything for you guys that have not yet seen this movie. The movie came out in 2013, so if you haven't seen it, please get with it. Now, I decided to talk about this movie this week because for modern horror telling, this is one of my favorites in like a long time. Like I haven't been this scared watching a movie since probably like The Exorcist when I was a young tyke. Now, don't get me wrong, The Exorcist is before my time, but I still grew up watching that movie with my family, and I haven't been shook since then. And this movie is well executed. If you know anything about James Wan, he pretty much started out in the horror franchise. He's done the movies like Saw. He's the mastermind behind the Insidious movies, and he also did this movie which I thought was pretty neat and dope back in. I think it came out, I want to say in '07. It's called Dead Silence. He's the person behind that too. That was the movie with the ventriloquist dolls. I don't want to say too much about that movie. If you haven't seen it, look that movie up. It's called Dead Silence. Your boy from True Blood plays in that movie. James Wan he's just, when it comes to horror, he does a good job. In this movie, the storyline is dope. The scares is on point. Usually you have the cheesy jump scares, but I feel like this movie didn't have the cheesy jump scares. Some of the jump scares in this movie were legit, and some of them I didn't see coming. I remember one time because I saw this movie in the theater. Obviously, I'm the movie guru, so I saw this movie in the theater, and I remember one of the jump scares with the scene where the demon is on top of the wardrobe. I guess we'll call it the wardrobe, the dresser. And when the character turned around, the demon was right there. Man, there was this dude that he jumped so bad in his seat that he lifted his legs up and his feet in the chair, like he put his legs in his feet. His whole lower half was wrapped up in the chair. That's how bad he jumped. Like the whole theater went nuts at this scene. I will never forget that scene. Like the whole theater jumped, screamed. I went to like a late showing that day. So it was like the last showing. It was like 11 o'clock at night. So there was nothing but grown people. There was no teenagers. Sometimes teenagers can be very, very annoying, especially when they're in like a group, a pack of them, and they're yelling and screaming and cussing at the screen. So it was all grown people. Nobody was acting a fool in the theater. And seeing it on the big screen definitely enhanced the scare factor. I definitely feel like you had to have seen this movie in the big screen. This is the first movie I think in a long time to have warnings. I remember when I went to go see this movie, there was warnings at the movie theaters. Like they had big signs up warning people about this movie because I guess people was tripping out, throwing up, getting sick. So like I said, me personally, I haven't seen a demonic movie, a movie that's dealing with demon possessions that was this scary since The Exorcist. And that's saying a lot because we had a lot of demonic movies come out. But The Conjuring, oh my God. that movie was man. I'm a grown man, and I had to do the little. You remember you was a little kid, and you at the light switch, and you hurry up and turn the light off and run to your bed. Like I had to do that. Like I came home shook. Like I did not want to be in the dark that night by myself. That's how shook I was watching that movie. I haven't had that feeling since I was a little kid. So that being said, this movie was definitely a movie that you need to see it on the big screen. Because I remember a few people that saw it when it was released on TV or Blu-ray, and they liked it, but they didn't think it was that scary. And I told myself, yo, listen, if you would have saw that movie with the surround sound in the theater, yeah, you would have been on a whole different. Your mind, your psyche would have been somewhere else. So like with that being said, this movie is it's not for everybody, man, because some people can't take that type of realism. Because if you believe in God, you got to believe in the devil, and for the most part, stuff like that really does take place. And you got to make sure you right with the Lord when you're dealing with that stuff. So, with that being said, man, this movie on a Kaiba scale, 1 to 10, this movie is a solid like 8.5. Like, if you haven't seen this movie, I don't know what's wrong with you. And it had a good follow up sequel. Like Conjuring 2 was good too. Do I think it's better than Conjuring 1? That's up for debate. But Conjuring, the first Conjuring movie was well made. Definitely worth seeing. Definitely worth buying on Blu-ray. If you got you a shorty this weekend, lay up, watch that movie. It's Halloween, baby. It's only right to watch that movie. So, that being said, if you like what you see and you want to see more, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. After doing that, hit the bell button so you get notified every time I upload a video. And please leave a comment and hit the like button. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.